Create a new broadcast. All right. So we are live. So, anyways, as I was saying, or no. So I guess Coca Cola would be the first good topic. Anyways, so I don't know if you heard of it. I didn't even know of it until like recently because I just unless it pops up on YouTube or someone I know on Discord brings it up, it didn't happen. But
Alright, alright, what's the deal?
so Coca Cola made a advertisement using AI.
Oh,
Like
I know where this one's going.
100%, and people are pretty much up in arms about it.
Yeah, because what, isn't that like the traditional bring in the holiday season commercial where it's like, oh yeah, Coca-Cola, it's Christmas time, hooray. And they make like one big commercial for the beginning.
Well, it's like so. There's two reasons why people are mad. Well, I guess free if you consider just a general whole AI thing, which I'm like, it's whatever. But so, first reason, which I've seen the advertisement, and I can pretty much tell you in one big word, it is soulless. Like there is, like I'm you've seen the advertise. They all have like a soul, like like you get like a Christmas spirit from it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this one, it literally feels like if someone said, "Hey, how many random images should we just smash together that look Christmassy?" And the director said, "Yes."
Yes,
Yes, like half the trucks literally look like they're being consumed by their trailers. And
that's
just
funny.
and I'm sure the images are as short as they are because if they let it go any longer than they did, it you know how AI video gets
Yeah, it'll just deteriorate
it devolves into
terribly.
madness the longer you let it go. But so they do this, uh, and the second reason why people are all ticked off is the training data that Coke had used for the AI they used so without permission from the original artists, and the original artists were not compensated for the training data,
Uh,
which I can kind of understand why they're ticked off about that because it's like if I made a video, like I wouldn't care if someone took like a video remade and like did something else with it, but I think you should at least ask permission before you do something like that. It's just
yeah.
one. It's just one of those formalities things. Like even if I don't care about it, I'd at least like to know you're doing that.
Yeah, it'll be quite nice to actually be informed the fact that your information is going to be used.
Yeah, and it's one of those. I don't care that someone uses it. I just want to know someone's using it because you don't know what people are using your stuff for.
And
Um, and it's just, hey, if you're using it to do a certain something that I don't like, I don't want to be associated with that. And it's kind of like how when MSNBC took Joe Rogan and edited it to sound like he was loving Kamala Harris. It's like I don't want a situation like that happening because someone will do that.
oh yeah, yeah. And the whole
So
thing's kind of a bit of a mess when it comes to it because AI is still new enough to where, it's not quality to be like, hey, let's create something with it and it to be on a professional level. I mean, maybe on like lower levels, sure, but on the professional level, it can be a little bit harder to kind of implement just due to the sheer just being new. It's kind of a new product, it's still being figured out. All the laws and stuff around it are still developing since it's something that's not traditional. And even in traditional in the new sense, you still have to create new laws for it and then go about it. So, like you said, it's going to be kind of a disaster to try to figure out, okay, what can and what can't be used on the internet for training its data and how to go about that. And I think that's what's going to have to let the law catch up. And unfortunately, and that time is going to take for the law to actually catch up. There's just going to be a lot more of these incidents until, they finally say something about it, or until it starts to get something done.
Well, yeah, I'm sure similar things happened when the camera came out. I'm sure if we really wanted to dig back into like archives and stuff, I'm sure we could find incidents or instances where someone was like, "Hey, I really like this painting. I'm going to take a photo of it with my 7 foot long camera that, you know, takes a grainy photo that looks like it's a Bigfoot image, and then post it out there right next to the artist that's selling these paintings." Like, I'm sure that happened. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
because like when the camera came out, it's kind of like how AI is now. People felt the same way about photography back then. Is they're like
Mhm.
it had no soul. You can do it instantaneously. There's no hard work to it, and it's like yeah, and like look at now. Picture photography is a pretty, you
Yeah,
know,
well respected.
yeah, like and I think it's respected because like almost anyone can get into picture photography, and like I can understand when people get mad about AI when their training data is artists' images that was just taken without permission and was used for this. Like I can understand getting mad about that. You know what? And I'm like, I can kind of understand the whole, hey, we don't like AI being used for advertisements because then it does kind of get rid of someone's job. But it's like, you know,
Eventually it's gonna come like photography or something where it's gonna become even a well respected or something that's just gonna have to be
yeah,
accepted regardless of it.
yeah, and it's going to happen. Like AI is going to go one of two ways, which it could go either way. It's still in its infancy at this point. Either it's going to become a well respected thing and everyone's going to use it in some sense in the future, or it's going to be a fad and it's going to fail. Like, you can't really say either way yet, just because look at how many products looked like they were a fad and then failed. Or no, and then like are around today and are big products, and then look at how many products were like the next big thing. Everyone's going to be using this in the future, and then you know it stays for like 2 years, and then everyone forgets about it. Like a year later.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But like, but yeah, it's I can
I think
understand.
AI might end up being one of those kind of shadow fads that kind of happens. It's gonna get a lot of attention at first, and it's just gonna kind of slowly fade into. It's gonna kind of act like COVID. It's gonna be there, but it's not gonna be like super prevalent. It's gonna be like, okay, yeah, you still got your AI tools, you still got this. People are gonna be fighting it. People are gonna like it or not, but it's no longer gonna be like mainstream. Oh yeah, uh, Elon Musk and all these other big companies are jumping on the bandwagon to see if what they can create with AI.
Yeah, well, like every
You
so
guys, I just watched this AI.
okay, I don't want that. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. Uh, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but
What you doing?
I don't know if you've seen this ad yet or not.
The Coca-Cola ad?
Yeah, it's new.
Yeah, I pulled it up while we were on stream here just to make sure I had an accurate reference there. 'Cause I saw one of them. And I want to make sure it's like 30 seconds long, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and get this. This is their second AI ad. I have not seen the first one, but apparently this is AI ad number 2, and the big defenders of AI at Coke right now are in the European Union.
Mhm.
They're pretty much people got ticked off about it, and AI hears about them being all ticked off about it, and let me see where the heck. But yeah, so people hear about everyone being ticked off about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, hey, redid this to be a collaborative between human storytellers," and it's like, yeah, a computer made it. It's totally human. You know, it's about as human as I don't know, the AI generated images on my phone.
Oh yeah.
You know, like not saying anything against AI or nothing. It's just like, hey,
It doesn't have any like taste to it. It's just kind of bland.
no, and that's where AI's hiccup is you can type as much. Like when it comes to images, AI is like pretty good right now when it comes to making art, images, making stuff that looks realistic. Like you can still find telltale signs if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, yeah,
But
but it's getting pretty hard to actually tell.
yeah, like if you will look at AI at the beginning of the year to now, it is a very big leap. Like AI had a hard time doing hands like whatsoever, and then now it's like unless you're looking really closely at an image, you're not going to be able to tell that's an AI image. You
Oh
know,
yeah, no.
and we're going to get to the point, but like video AI is still sucky wucky, if you
Yeah, it's
will.
come a far away, but it's still not enough to make it to where it's like, oh yeah, this is actually watchable and more convincing. It's just below that level where it's like kind of soulless enough where you're like, oh, that's uncomfortable, but
Yeah,
it's still there. Really, I guess I could kind of see the realism in it.
yeah, but yeah. So masterpiece. That's the name of this one. That's the first one, or no, the second one. And apparently they made a first one. What's the first one? It wasn't a holiday. Let's see here. Yeah, so they're this is their European leader. Pretty much said Coke will always remain dedicated to creating the highest level of work at the intersection of human creativity and technology. And it's like, hey, I get it. It's like the best technology, like or not the best, but like the newest fad. But let's not call it a human computer interaction when all the human probably did was just typed in Coca Cola and whatnot. Like the only thing I think that was even like human dud at this point was maybe the Coca Cola logo, just because if you ask,
Yeah, then
yeah,
AI sucks at writing.
yeah, AI rates worse than a 3-year-old after he drunk 15 beers and wrecked his car into a bridge.
15.
You know,
Why is a 3-year-old drinking beers? Holy
if
crap. I get
hey,
what you're saying. I get what you're saying, though.
if I type in person that sucks at writing in an AI video generator, it's probably what it's going to make.
Mm.
Little Tommy, no. He was too young for his role. Just, I told him, I said one sip, and then the next thing I know, the whole fridge was in his mouth.
Bruh.
But,
Anyways, Coca-Cola.
but yeah, and, Coke's leaning in over the corner, like, little Timmy, don't drink the beer, drink Coke instead. It's a healthier addiction.
Not by much, but it's a little better.
Not by much, but I'd say drinking Coke is one of those things that's like, hey, if we're going to have to pick an addiction, and it's like you don't get the choice of no addiction, Coke is at least better than you than being a drunkard. Because like
Oh yeah.
I know of people that can drink beer or like alcohol, and they can drink like one or two, and that's it. They're done. You know, they're not drinking anymore. The problem comes when one sip is not enough, and then you're 8 bottles down, barely able to stand, and still chugging them like they're water. Like my brother was at the point that I remember I helped him one day, and as I'm over there, we're taking stuff out, putting it to the dumpster. He drinks 8 cans of like Bush Light, then
Jeez.
goes back. We get done. We go out to lunch at some Mexican restaurant. He runs up, orders a medium martini, downs that, So then we're going home. We're going back to his house, and we're going to watch Mortal Kombat. That when that movie came out, and
Okay. Okay.
he was like, "Hey, you mind swinging by the store? I am out of beer." Buys a 6-pack of beer, and Mortal Kombat's only like a 2-hour movie or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
we sit down, we're watching it. It's not even halfway through the movie. I look over at this guy. He already has the 6-pack going.
I agree.
And all of this happened in less than 12 hours. And he was barely
Yeesh.
even buzzed. And like when you're at that point, you got a problem. Um, so it is an epidemic. But getting back to Coke.
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know,
back to that red drink.
back to the red drink. Real know what they're about if they start putting red stars on there. But
Da, da, da.
but anyways, that's the only thing like I can see where I can get behind and be like, hey, I get why you're angry. Besides the whole it's soulless, and then you're trying to parade it around like it's full human soul thing is. Hey, it's not nice to take people's stuff and then use it to train your stuff because, like, yeah.
And I think they should have like at least tried to do like partial, like instead of going like just full out AI, they could have like made some aspects of it like AI, like kind of maybe like a drink moving or maybe a couple of photos in the background to kind of test it out, something like that. I mean, obviously it still would have probably made waves, but it would have been like the smaller waves, like Coke uses AI pictures in their Christmas ad,
Yeah.
and people wouldn't have been as mad. I think that would have been a good way to kind of ease it on.
Well, thing I can see definitely, no matter what way AI goes, is AI being like an assistant to animating, which it kind of already is. But like, I could see them being like, hey, you want to make a million characters, design one character, hit a button, and like AI will generate like a bunch of other characters. Like I could see that being a thing because let's be honest, half of this stuff already existed. It just wasn't called AI until like this year, for whatever
Oh
reason.
yeah, I
AI
mean most
became
of it's like Photoshop and all that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Well, like 90% of these terms were like algorithm or programming. Like they weren't AI. Like for whatever reason, this year everyone like leaned really hard into the AI buzzwords. Probably because it's the new kid on the block.
I
But
mean, it's kind of like when Apple did. It's kind of like when Apple did that. Add the face scanning thing to their phone, where it's like, oh yeah, now you can unlock your phone with like face scan or biometrics, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is the new big thing. Even though Samsung had that around for I think like for maybe 5 or 6 years even before that, and but everyone treated it like it was like the brand new thing. And
yeah,
so, like you said, I think that this is doing exactly that, where, half of the stuff has already been here. It's just now, since we threw a new fancy name on it, now everyone's like, oh shoot, this is actually pretty doggone cool.
yeah, no, and it's like I said, I can get behind AI, and I have nothing personally against AI because, like, I've used AI to generate photos and stuff. Just had to adjust the mic, but
Yeah.
it's it is getting to a point where we're going to come to a revolution where people aren't going to have jobs. Like, let's just be honest, jobs are, and the writer strike I can kind of see almost go in the way of the elevator operator strike. So if you don't know, which you probably already knew this, but elevators back in the day weren't automatic. You had a person inside that would pick what floor to go to, and they manually operated the elevator.
Oh,
Uh,
that's cool.
well, in the 1950s, they were still manually operated.
Hmm.
The elevator operator strikes went on, or workers went on a strike because they wanted a 50-cent raise. And
Yeah.
This cost the companies a combined $3 million in
Jeez.
1950s money, so a lot of money today. So
Yeah.
they had a pretty major incentive to start investing in the companies that were making, uh, automated elevators. So when you think about it, the elevator workers pretty much strike themselves out of a job. They went on a strike. The corporation said, all right, you're going to go on a strike. We're going to lose money. Well, then we're just taking the human factor out. You can't strike if you don't work for us. And they did it. And it's the writers union goes on strike, and let's be honest, in my opinion, writing ain't as good as it used to be. Like, some movies
And
are good, but Hollywood writing's at that point that it's just a step above AI writing, in my opinion. And I don't know if it's because AI writing's based off of Hollywood writing or if Hollywood writing's just that bad.
yeah, no, I think it's just kind of the shifting of cultures that just kind of shifted everything from being kind of like a, you have to kind of write to actually be good to making everything more easily accessible.
Yeah.
Meaning that now more people can actually write and try to get onto the screen, and then you get these weird shows that, no one really wants to watch.
Yeah, no, and it's some of these shows are just super super weird. But anyways, moving on to our next topic, because we did talk about Coke for a minute, and
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else we can talk about this AI before we are beating a dead horse.
Yeah, and I'm about to say we've kind of covered AI in our previous ones too, so I'm pretty sure that's well covered.
But so our second topic, you probably heard of it. It is, I'm sure it's international news at this point, if not, just national. But Brian Thompson, Thompson, the CEO of, I think, United Health, it was. He was assassinated in New York over about 5 days ago.
Yeah, heard about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, walked out of his hotel, and the guy just walked up behind him. You can even see on the security footage, walked up right behind him and point blank, boom, boom, boom. Anyways, that guy, no one knows who he is. They found the backpack with his jacket and stuff in it. And, all kinds of photos. Some of them people are claiming aren't him. And some random person that the news decided to run with, which, if that's the case, big embarrassment for major news media.
I mean, it's major news media. What low could you go at that point?
True. I mean, there is a reason why the majority of the younger generations don't even rely on, major news for news anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like half of the stuff they even do is always like left or right side leaning basis, and it's so bad to the point where even if the news network favors it, it's like, bruh, you have to go to like literally 2 or 3 different major news outlets just to get some correct information. Because one of them's gonna say, "Oh yeah, everything's perfectly fine." The other one's gonna say it's on fire. One's gonna say it dropped a nuke, and you're gonna be like, okay, one of these is definitely not correct here, because if a nuke was dropped, we'd all be dead. The other one is partially correct, and I just looked it up on Google, and none of them are correct. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, no, and but, the guy writes a couple different words. I know one of them was denied and deposed, and I can't think of what the third one was. But he wrote those, which that tells me that this wasn't just some random person that decided to take him out. This was someone had a loved one in a hospital that needed, health insurance, and they were denied. And when you look into United Health and their practices, they become pretty scummy. United Health was using an AI algorithm to decide who got their claims approved and who got their claims denied, which that in itself is scummy enough as it is, and 90% of the time the AI algorithm was incorrect in information it got.
You
So
shouldn't be really using AI in the healthcare system. Like that's just one of the things that should just be kept all human there.
yeah,
Unless it's
and
something like super minute, like okay, this guy needs water at like 4 p.m. Ding ding, that's it. But nothing major.
yeah, but this part of the AI, this wasn't AI for like, hey, does this guy need a glass of water? This was AI for, hey, are we going to cover this guy's medical bills that can't afford their medical bills, or are we just going to let him die? And they so the industry average for denial in America for the insurance claims is 16%, which yeah, it's a lot, but it is what it is. United Health's denial rate was above 32%,
Good grief.
so over double the industry standard. A lot, and there are cases of pretty much United Health paying doctors to say one thing so that they could deny that was incorrect, so that they could deny someone's healthcare service. So like not
Yeah,
like
I said
yeah,
the whole healthcare business is half
yeah,
corrupt at this point, unfortunately.
it is, because I have friends in the healthcare business and they've told me that there are good doctors and nurses out there, but it is but it's like you're doing that, so you're screwing with someone's bread and butter. You're screwing with someone's family. And the thing they would do is they wouldn't deny someone's health care until after they started getting the surgery done a lot of the time. So you're now stuck with a bill you cannot afford.
No.
You had the insurance. You're paying probably $300 a month. Like that's insurance is expensive. You're paying that amount, and then you need to use it, and you're told, hey, you can't use it because such and such doctor that doesn't even work at the hospital you worked at, has nothing to do with you, never seen you before. They're just paid by us, said that we shouldn't approve your claim. And it's like, you do
And it
that
comes
to,
a big mess.
it becomes a big mess. And if you're told, hey, like if someone came up to you and told you, hey, your grandma's dead, she's dead because that rich person that said he was going to cover her costs whenever she needed to go to the hospital, he decided to back out at last second and make a lot of money off of her, you'd be ticked off. you know but because of this, like United Health posted a like I think memorial or whatever for Brian Thompson, and there was 1.7 thousand like crying emojis, 1 point I think like 3 likes. Before they deleted the post, there was over 21,000 laughing emojis.
Peace.
And like the comments were along the lines of, "I'm sorry, but your premium does not cover my sympathy." So public opinion is very much not in his favor right now, and just I can understand why, but at the same time, it's like it is a person died, a father, a husband died.
Yeah, it's not one of those. I mean, yeah, like yeah, it's still like you said, it's still a person.
Like I can understand why people are the way they are, because believe me, I'm kind of like in the same boat of like, hey, it's sad the guy died, but at the same time, you do practices like that, you can't exactly complain when the common person fights back.
No.
Like eventually it's going to happen. You mess with someone like that, kill their loved one, they're not going to be happy. But at the same time, let's not make a killer.
Yeah,
Let's not put him on a
you
step
don't
pedestal.
become yeah, you don't become better than the person that you're mocking
Yeah,
if you
because
just stoop down to that level.
yeah, because if you murder someone that murdered someone, you better than the person that murdered originally. An eye for
Yeah,
an
it's
eye and the
just
road
still the
goes blind.
same. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's same amount of murders that are still in the world.
Yeah, it doesn't bring the loved one back. But I can understand why people are the way they are, why they feel the way they are. I can understand why the person that did it feels the way they do. But this is not the answer. And unfortunately, though, I can't say, oh, hey, let justice take its course, because what the guy was doing was perfectly legal. There's no justice there. It's, you might as well call it, I don't know, but, but yeah, but they're still looking for the guy. They found his backpack in the lake, in Central Park, had his jacket in it. So, and then there's a image from what looks like an Uber or a taxi. It's out there on the internet somewhere, but looks like the guy is walking alongside with the passenger door open.
Mm-hmm.
It's of him. He's in plain face, his hood up. In New York, so remember how like in like NCIS or like Law and Order, they'd have the run it for the face matching algorithm and find out who the killer is, whatnot.
Oh yeah,
Apparently, that's a thing now.
I can
They,
believe that because they
yeah,
do that at the airport.
yeah, they got an AI powered face matching algorithm that they can put your face in, and which that's got its own sets of issues that I can see. I can see people going back to being the '90s of hiding their identity, not even saying nothing, like beyond I ain't gonna tell you where I live at, where I am gonna show you my face. But they're utilizing that, so it's been 5 days. I mean, unfortunately, at this point, I do think they're going to find him, because we're talking about a justice system that found a lady who burned a Wendy's just by using a tattoo on her arm and a shirt she was wearing. And she had her face
Yeah,
completely covered up.
yeah. I mean, they're gonna find him. That's just it. Unless the dude, disappears to like a completely new country. If he stays in the U.S., he's gonna get found and he's gonna get in trouble for it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just gonna happen eventually. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when.
Well, and even if you go to another country, they can still find you. Like, the only way you will ever truly disappear is if you just go off the grid, drop your phone, everything. That is the only way you could 100% disappear. But apparently, he was calling someone before he made this kill.
I mean, I guess technically, if you go to a country that doesn't have an extradite agreement, then you
Yeah.
could probably get away. So, I mean, if he's stupid enough, he can go to Russia, which, I mean, yeah, they're not gonna come and get you there, buddy. But that'd be an ugly way to live.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go to Russia. But, well, and then, like, even countries that do, there's still ways you can jump around to, you know, get away. But, like, he apparently called someone before he shot Brian Thompson. And I'm not sure, they haven't released who she called or who he called or what the conversation was about. But which makes me wonder, is he someone personally connected to this, or was this someone paid him to place a hit on this guy? Because hitmen do exist. I
Oh
hate to
yeah,
say it, but
easily.
they're real. They're not, but they don't dress up like Agent 47, but they're real.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they go around in casual clothing. You can find them
and
online
yeah,
on the dark web and just be like, "Hey, I want you to kill so and so," and you're like, "All right, give me $10,000, good." And then they go and do it.
and the thing of the matter is, the fact that the guy was wearing a hoodie, hiding his face, and all that, and then discarded the hoodie afterwards in the backpack and the phone, which I don't even know if the phone's his phone or a burner phone. But the fact he did all that,
Yeah, he was
kind of,
prepared for it. He
yeah,
was
he,
preemptively planning. He just didn't wake up one morning and was just like, "Yeah, I'm grabbing my gun, my hoodie, and a backpack and going."
well, it also says that this wasn't some guy that just woke up one day and planned this out and decided this is someone who knew at least somewhat what they're doing. So it almost makes me wonder, is this someone personally connected, or did someone contact this person, place a hit on this guy, and then hand them the bullets and say, I want you using these? You know, almost makes you wonder. And maybe I'm wrong, because I'm just making an educated guess here. I ain't going off any information I don't know. I can guarantee you the police know more than what they're telling us, too.
Oh yeah, but that's kind of typical because they have to keep it in until they can actually make an accurate assumption. So they just don't be like, oh yeah, we think it's fill in the blank, and then it turns out not to be, and then they don't look too good under the limelight there.
Yeah, no, they're not going to say anything until they have an arrest. And yeah, but it is kind of crazy. It's like one of those like, what the, like I can really see this being on like in history class. Like I just thought of it and I was like, man, like I could see this being, instead of like like how we learned about assassinations in history class, like I could see change the date to 1960 and this fits right in with that period.
Yeah, this is literally going to end up being in the history books. Like,
Yeah.
no doubt, it's going to be something that, hopefully when we have kids, then we're going to be like, oh yeah, they're going to be like, yeah, you hear about this healthcare guy who died? Oh yeah, I was 22 to 23 years old. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, no, I can 100% see this being, that being the case, because it's happened before. But you make enemies, someone's going to hit you. It's a fact of life. That's why I try not to rock the boat too much. In Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
gotta add that.
In
Minecraft.
Oh yeah, that one time I nearly took out the White House in Minecraft. Obviously, my friend's White House. It just happened to be located in Washington D.C. And like in Minecraft, my Minecraft world, the SMP that we have, obviously, definitely wasn't referencing anything else.
Oh man.
Going to raid the capital of my friend's base in Washington D.C. as in Delta Charlie from my Minecraft SMP. That's like the YouTube name. Located at these coordinates in my.
Oh man, but that's why I'll put in the chapter 9 of Project Alpha. Destroys plane in Minecraft.
In Minecraft, destroys plane. In Minecraft,
Yeah, that's so far in the book. I know I'm going on a tangent, but I decided to add a World War II universe in.
Oh boy.
Like, oh, that would be interesting. And
how's that going?
Going good so far. Not too many people have read it yet, and I don't have too much people, giving me feedback. But I did start a villain arc. I think chapter 3 or 6. Might have been 6. So the main villain, at least in this first book, if I do any more after this, is Wolf Leader. And
okay. What's that one going to be about?
So.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, let's just say he's a German from the 40s that may or may not have been a sub-commander that was captured by had his brain scanned into a computer at some point by the Americans. And then the Americans at some point were like, hey, this guy's a psychopath. He, cover it up, get rid of the evidence, put everything away, seal the bunker. If this guy gets put in the wrong hands, the world might be destroyed. And then he's forgotten about for a couple 100 years, and then is found by the main villains of the story. Well, main villains of the beginning of the story, because they kind of, after chapter 7, they kind of don't exactly matter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So it kind of like evolves and.
yeah, so like after chapter 7, Wolf Squad kind of takes over. And the funny thing is, I got the idea for Wolf Squad from some movie I watched about a destroyer. I think it was a Tom Hanks movie, but basically, there's one scene where the German U-boat comes up to shoot the U.S. destroyer, and he's like, "Hello, good morning, Captain. You know, you can't run from the wolf forever." No, the side of the submarine has a wolf painted on the conning tower. But
That's funny.
yeah, so that's why I'm like, oh yeah, you know, German bad guy with a bad guy with a German accent calling himself the wolf leader. What can go wrong? You know, just add a couple wolf ears and a tail there, and it's complete.
Furry mode activated.
Furry mode. Well, I mean, people call me a furry because of alpha at this point, and also because like I sent a photo of my Old Republic character earlier to a friend of mine, and he was like, "I'm disappointed that the character does not have cat ears." Because like every character I create, if there's a cat ear option and a cat tail option, it's going on.
That's just your character. You gotta roll with it now.
That's like cat chick with ears and tail. Like that's yeah. And then it's the only downside is because of my profile pic I have in Discord. I'll get like a DM from someone that's like, "Hey, are you a chick?" And it's like, "No." And there's one or two responses. Either it's like, "Oh, okay, have a nice day," or "Even better."
Even better.
Even better. There are people out there who are like going into it thinking they're talking to a chick, and not even like I'm saying I'm a chick, just because like they see the PFP and make that association, because apparently only chicks have cat girls as PFPs, but they see that, and then they ask, and then when they find out that that's a negatory, oh, the deal got better.
Yeah, a lot of people are even just some people are into that kind of stuff, and you're just kind of like, okay, buddy, guess so.
Yeah. Luckily, though, from some experiences, I do have experience with telling those kind of people no. But yeah. So that happened.
Dang, you get to track all the fun people.
I don't know. It's like I attract all kinds of weird people. It's like when we play War Thunder, you know, like I'll be out there flying around having a normal day, and then the next thing I know, you know, I just attract half the enemy team.
They think you're a popular guy. They know about your podcast. They just want to ask you some questions. Just like, hey, we want to ask you some questions, but first we need you to be on the ground, okay? So we're gonna send you some complimentary. We're gonna send you some bullets, okay?
Wonder if I should just. I wonder if they like listen to like. That'd be funny if someone was listening to like the live stream and popped in and was just like,
"Well, this guy sounds like a chick. Let's go after him."
It's a woman. Get up.
Get her. She can't escape. Or, you know, have.
Boomer reading a book?
Questionable mark.
Well, I got those, and then
Remember the this is supposed to be the guy from Scream. Just it sounds like an AI voice.
So I'd ever watched Scream, so on that one I didn't know.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Oh, fair. That ain't bad. to the phone.
What's with the phone sound?
It's him. So like in the movie, he'll be like calling him and be like, "What are you doing?" And
In the I don't know if it's in the Scream movie, but in like Scary Movie, which is like a parody of Scream and a bunch of ever, like the main villain in the first one is like the Scream villain. They're like nothing, just chilling, watching TV. And then I think the other guy gets stolen, and he's like, "What's up? What's up?" And at the end, even the killer's like, "What's up?" And then
Straight up.
Yeah, and then Shorty, he's one of my favorite characters. But at the end of the scene, he's like, "So, what are you doing?" And the killer's just sitting back, holding a bottle, I think soda or beer in his hand. It's just nothing, just chilling. And then Shorty's like, "That's cool." Like, Shorty is a stereotype, but he's one of those. Scary Movie is one of those movies that's like they made a stereotype of like everybody though. Like the one character, my favorite part's the one character. I think they were like, "Where is this guy at?" And every guy's like, "But he lives the closest out of everyone." And then they show a trailer right in the front yard of the school.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going out and throws a beer can on the ground, and he's, "All right, goodbye, Mima, Aunt Karen, Uncle Stu, Aunt Michael, Uncle Bairn, Peepaw. I'll see you later." Like the whole stereotype of like ginormous white families living in the same trailer.
Oh yeah, that trailer park vibe stuff.
So it's like, it's like, yeah, they make that stereotype, but they also make stereotypes about everybody else. Like Shorty, that's the one. Oh man, I can't say it over stream. I'll have to say it after the stream, but it's
All right, for legal reasons, cannot be said over stream.
For legal reasons of I don't want to be canceled. But so we'll come back to this later. Just yeah.
That noise in the background.
Goes in the background.
What was that noise in the background?
A backup beeper.
Oh. Well, say it was like really loud. I was like, "What the crap is happening there?"
I got that. I'm slowly approaching your location. 39 buried, 0 found.
God.
But oh man, this has just devolved into a conversation. But
Still, I mean, I guess that's what a podcast basically is. You just kind of go off certain points, and we cover most of the ones that we want to get here. I don't think there's really anything else that's happening that's super major that hasn't changed much over time.
the Syrian government got overthrown.
Oh, I did see some of that on Instagram. I just didn't think it was I didn't even know. Okay, I saw someone on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't really think it actually affected a lot. But wow.
Yeah, it happened, and then that business in South Korea. Yeah. Those are the two major. Well, besides stuff in Ukraine, those are the two major updates. Is the president declared martial law in South Korea, and like I said, when you got a bunch of people that lived for a guy who did this before, and a lot of people got killed, and they ain't going to do it again, and they all, at least the majority of them, served in the army, because you make it mandatory, they're not going to be scared of the army.
Yeah, no.
Make fun of countries, or say that isn't right, but the fact of the matter is, when half your population served in the army and it comes time to use the army to stop that half the population, I'm sorry, but you're not stopping them because they ain't scared of that army. You know, like, yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's just, yeah, they ain't scared of the army, and yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how this develops, because, I mean, like I said, this is literally stuff that you take it back and put it into, like, the 50s. You could see this happening back then. Like, this, literally, right now, what's going on in the railroad sounds like the plot of a Call of Duty game.
Yeah, it just comes in, it's like, alright, this is the Syrian government's just been overthrown. And now even in America things are starting to fall. The United Healthcare CEO just got assassinated outside of a hotel. Didn't even see it coming. And now AI is starting to take over the healthcare system. Millions of people are dying each day because they can't get healthcare. This world is going into madness, and that's where you come in. Your job is to go in and take down the Ukrainian war. I don't know. There's some wild stuff right there.
Oh, it played the whole
So
audio.
trusted you. I thought I could too.
Oh, I could trust you. Oh, apparently you can't.
Oh, it's just a theme. Or wait, is it?
What kind of a name? What kind of a name is Soap?
Honestly, they were. Yo, you're playing War Thunder and someone actually gets a nuke.
I like that at one time we were playing, we're all like looking like, hey, where is this guy at with the nuke?
But didn't get lucky, apparently.
Yeah, apparently not. That was just, oh man, that was funny. I think my favorite tank to play in War Thunder right now is the T-35. The thing's practically unstoppable.
Wait, the T-35, that's a...
It's
Is it the T-35 or the T...
So it's the T-35, so...
American or Russian?
Russian.
Oh, is it that,
Yeah, it's the interwar period tank. The multi-turreted buddy. That was the one. So, like, remember when I said, like, I got free kills? Like,
oh, the
right
one where
after
you
the
post it. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, the T-28, isn't it?
No, it's so there's two versions. There's the T-28 that just has, like, the main cannon, and then four, like, all machine guns, and then the T-35 is the main 75mm cannon, and then two 45mm auxiliary cannons on, like, one in front, one in back, and then, like, a machine gun turret also. And it's also, like, the T-28's a medium, the T-35 is a heavy. So, like, it can bounce a lot of shells. Not as many as the Doom Turtle, but decently so.
Does the job.
That one guy, I think you see it, man. I got that guy, like, halfway across the map almost.
Yeah,
so
dude,
happy.
you were sniping.
It's only got 18 views though, that video. Like, no one's seen it, but I was like,
I looked at your channel. You're starting to get 500 views on some of those shorts.
on some of them, I was like, man, like, I think it's because, like, I titled it Al Goes Ham.
Mm-hmm.
So no one, like, the algorithm doesn't put it out there, but I was like, hey, I kind of went, like, Rambo. I should have put Al Goes Rambo, because, like, I kind of went Rambo there for a second.
You could always just be like, oh, whoops, I had to repost it because the sound was a little bit wonky. Wink, wink, and then just rename it.
Yeah, maybe. But,
Oops.
Whoopsie. I made a sucky wucky. Gotta fix that mistake, uwu. But though the first guy too, I didn't even I hit that guy once and then finished him off with my machine guns. That tank is OP. It's like a monster coming at you.
Just straight up knock out the whole enemy team while you're at it.
Oh man, and so you want to know my favorite part? So you know the one short where I rammed the Everplane with the Japanese plane.
Yeah.
5.5% of my viewers on that short are from Japan. I was like, oh man, that is so hilarious just because of the fact I committed a kamikaze and survived in a Japanese plane. And then I'm getting views. So, 3 new countries popped up on my view count.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting views from the United Kingdom, Japan, and South Korea now. Oh, and Australia and Indonesia. And
Mr. Popular over here.
And Russia is my second most viewed country besides the US. But it's I think 20% from the US and 10% from Russia. And then
yeah,
third place is Germany, and then 0.1% after Germany is Japan.
Starting to get some world views.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I made it. Maybe because I'm starting to play Japanese ships, but I really do like War Thunder Naval. I really like War Thunder Naval. I'm a wizard at War Thunder Naval.
Okay, I'm surprised on that one. Most people usually don't or aren't much of a fan of Naval and War Thunder upon first playing it.
So I think War Thunder Naval is one of those things that it's either you love it or you hate it. And if you're coming into it with the expectation that it's going to be something like World of Warships, you're not going to be happy. Because I'm going to be honest, between the two, I will say World of Warships is the superior game when it comes to just having a good battle. The problem with World of Warships is I can't do PvP anymore in that, just because of the fact that all everyone does the entire match is hide, and I want to have a match, not
you want to have an active match.
Yeah, I want to actually fight instead of, hey, let's go see if we can find someone, and by the time you spot the enemy, there's 20 of them behind a mountain waiting for you with their guns trained on you. And then you're like, I want to go home. Whereas War Thunder people are actually having a battle, because the way the game mechanics in War Thunder work, it kind of forces you to have a match instead of just hide the entire match.
Until you spawn in, there's an enemy just in range of you, going hee hee poke. You're like, oh, you think you're the big guy? Let me come 2 feet closer. Oh, there's an enemy to my right. Where the frick did you come? You know what? All right, let's brawl. Let's throw hands.
Yeah, well, in World of Warships, the matches are big enough, and the friendly spawn point and the enemy spawn point are out of view of each other. And even if you can see them, their ships are too far away for you to see. And then by the time you do see them, you're 90% of the ships, unless you got a legendary captain, skill, aren't able to reach as far as you can see.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I'm about to say. With wargaming and World of Warships, you have that spotting mechanic where, the whole ship just goes invisible. You're like, haha, I see where you're... Did that ship just disappear? Sir, the ship just disappeared. What the... Meanwhile, War Thunder. Alright, yep, there's a ship way out there on the horizon. Keep your eye on it, alright.
So the only thing I will say I do not like about War Thunder, that I do think War Thunder needs to change.
Yeah.
And it's, when it comes to naval, is the crosshair system. They should do just a normal crosshair.
What, you don't like that perfect system where you can't tell if you're aiming at the water or your lead indicator?
Yeah, it's well, and it's like, don't get me wrong, it's like it's nice and all that, and it does well, and like the lead indicator is nice because like it is pretty accurate. Like if you get it in the range of that lead indicator, you will hit the middle of the ship as long as you got the right aim. But like my problem is they, instead of having a normal crosshair, they
Hmm.
got that little like arrow thing with like the circle, and it's like, to me it's harder to aim in a way that you can tell if your shells are going to overshoot or undershoot or hit, then like a crosshair is like way easier because like I can aim a crosshair at least a bow, and then if it overshoots, I know I need to move down a bit. If it undershoots, I know I need to move up a bit. It is easier. That I
I
can't even tell if I'm aiming a bit low or a bit high. You can't tell.
I think that one actually can be adjusted in settings because they do
Maybe.
have multiple different crosshairs. Because I know for the planes and stuff, I changed mine at least 2 times now. I changed the color of it. Originally, it was kind of like a gray color, and then I changed it to like black and a dot, which was, I don't know why I did that. And then now I changed it to like a solid circle with a dot in the center, and it's bright red. So
Yeah.
you have to kind of check to see if Naval has it, but if it doesn't, then yeah, I can see why.
I'll see. Like if they have it, But it's just one of those things that it's like, I get it, for realism it's nice,
Hmm.
but let's be honest, very little about War Thunder's super highly realistic. And
No,
then for
unless you're playing
whatever
like simulator battles.
and then for whatever reason, I popped into a match, and this has been happening to me, and it's ticking me off. It's already
Hmm.
happened to me on airplanes. It's happened to me on tanks. It's happened to me on naval, all
Hmm.
three. And it's only when I play by myself, and it'll happen like randomly. You will pop in a low tier. So I was at like the highest tier I had for the realistic match was a 4.0 Japanese cruiser.
Yeah.
I was fighting like a couple battle ranks above me, ships. Like I got a kill on a ship that was 2 battle ranks above me.
Jeez.
And I'm like, it has happened to me. Like I've had that happen to me on that. I had no ship above 4.0. I even have it on video to prove it
Hmm.
didn't happen. Then it happened to me once on tanks. I ended up going up against tanks like the T-29 and T-95, you know, 7.0 with like the highest tank I had being a 2.0, and got absolutely destroyed because 2.0 in an arcade match. And then it didn't happen again after that. And then there was that one match when I like first started out on computer
Hmm.
that I had B-17 spawning in on the enemy team. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, why am I randomly spawning in the high tier matches when I don't have anything high tier?
What Thunder be doing? The little funny. They're like, hey, let's test your skills. Good luck. At a
Well,
higher tier.
I'm sure someone's going to comment this, but like then whenever I post anything like that where I'm like, I'm kind of fed up about this War Thunder, they go like, why didn't you feed the snail?
Oh yeah. No, say I saw some of the comments on your videos too.
Why didn't you feed the snail?
Just go. Just go for it, dude.
Well, and the whole reason why I said I was like done with that one was because if you notice, right at the end of me flying around, like right
Hmm.
when it's what sent me back to my tank, the
Yeah.
pilot got shot and knocked out. So the pilot's dead, and it still gave me the achievement for keeping the pilot and the plane alive.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, what is going on with you, War? Like, I'm going to take it where I can get it, but it's like, what is going on with you, War Thunder?
That one. Okay, that one's a bit weird because it's like that end of game period where just after they roll the credits or they roll like your stats, that's when you become like impervious. So if anything that happens afterwards is no longer counted as valid. So technically, you could literally survive the whole game, and just as those just as the credits pop up going, all right, you got 7 kills, 0 deaths. someone lodges a shell straight in the side of your tank and basically blows you up, it won't count towards the end of the game.
But the pilot got knocked out before that popped up.
Nah,
Just
doesn't matter.
before.
It probably just start calculating it just beforehand, and it was just like, all right, you're pilot and check script, pilot alive. Here's your warp clip. We can't take it back, I guess.
I should probably see if I can get ever footage from that video I did, because there was also me. I was in that Italian light tank that has the machine gun that's like unwieldy, because like it has to turn with the turret. So if you're trying to shoot at a plane, like forget about it. I somehow managed to shoot down a plane with that machine gun.
Good grief.
So I'm like, oh, I'm happy. And then I got like
OP.
I think 4 or 5 target, but like War Thunder's like, in my experience, is literally like a gazillion horrible matches where you get your butt kicked and you're crying, and then that one good match.
Yeah, that's the reason why most people stay. You get your rear end half handed to you. You nearly smash your keyboard into 4 pieces. You make your neighbors and your family think that you have anger management issues. You say some words that you regret. But then you have one round where you get like 7 kills. Or you get one round where you get 1 kill. And then you're like, I am the best at this game. Like, I don't even know what I was mad before, Must have been the wind.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the keyboard launching the wall. That was just me learning just how good I am, I'm just trying to improve my
Half our videos.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Hey, at least we're still trying. Inexperienced experts gang.
That'll be fun. Pop into War Thunder. We're the inexperienced experts. We're here on the ground.
On the ground.
Al
On the third ground battle of the day.
Core
Is that a
has
new?
Well, it's like when it's like me, you, Bunny, and Core playing. It's like Bunny's off doing whatever with an engine on fire and the everyone sputtering.
Yep.
You're flying around trying to protect all of us. I'm off doing crazy aerobatic maneuvers, getting slammed into by enemy planes and everplanes, and having like 4 fighters following me in a bomber. Core has half the enemy team chasing after him. Like that's pretty much our average War Thunder gameplay right there.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Like,
And then, of course, we get that one instance where someone rams into us, and we're like, oh, no.
like that one, like last time we played, I'm like, I don't know what. I'm just like playing and all that, and all of a sudden this ever biplane does some maneuver and like slams into me, and I'm like, I thought my plane was okay. I did not notice the propellers being bent. I'm like, all right, plane's good. Yeah, screw you, buddy. That's what you get for ramming me. And I'm still flying around. Like, I have an engine, and I'm hitting the W key, and I'm like, why am I not pitching up to them? Why am I so slow? And then I noticed 0% power, engine damaged. And I was
That's what that did? That's what the engine... Oh, my gosh, you guys, I just had the biggest realization. The engine is what made the plane go... Oh my gosh. I'm gonna die.
I felt like such an idiot that match, because it's like, oh man.
No, I've done that too.
You're like, you don't even
mid-fight,
know.
running out of energy, like, well, why can't I go up? This is super weird. Oh.
But yeah, so I like I really do like War Thunder. I do have my grievances about War Thunder, but it's an overall positive thing. Like I said, I really do love naval. Not coastal battles as much as I prefer blue water. Maybe more because I'm more, coming from rotor warships, I'm more used to blue water style Navy battles.
I mean, Coastal's odd. I mean, I think that's one that even inexperienced people like me coming into naval is just kind of like you're running around in a torpedo boat with essentially two 50 cal machine guns trying to mow people down. That's essentially going down to Lake Erie and being like, all right, we just took the yacht club here. Everyone, here's your complimentary 50 cal machine gun. Go out somewhere on the lake, and as soon as you see any other one with a 50 cal machine gun and a blue flag, mow them down. Got it? All right, good. Oh yeah, by the way, you also get torpedoes, so just kind of like push those off the side of the boat, and they'll just kind of go forward. So don't blow yourselves up. Good luck, and may fair seas be with you.
So, FG, I don't know if you did it by accident or on purpose, but you just had an experienced experts moment. That is pretty much how the idea for the PT boats came around.
Oh,
Literally
really?
just strap a couple 50 cals to a motorboat and throw some torpedoes on that and go sink some destroyers. Like,
Hey, let's go.
there is a bunch of destroyers of PT boats basically taking out Japanese destroyers the same way I took out that T-28 and the L3 of like get so close that their guns can't even aim at you and just launch torpedoes. And blow the ship in two.
Yeah.
There was actually an American destroyer that has a kill against the Japanese destroyer with throwing knives, chairs, and a side table.
Potatoes?
Chairs. Throwing
Oh,
knives,
chairs.
and a side table. And probably potatoes. There is a...
Oh yeah. Like,
there's
didn't they
a-
like pull up like right beside, and both of them were just sitting there looking at each other, confused, and then I think the American ship just start throwing potatoes and stuff at them,
Yes.
and like, oh yeah, that's
So,
ridiculous.
This one was... The destroyer was in a battle with this submarine. And the destroyer had launched depth charges, and a malfunction happened, so all of her depth charges launched at once, and it damaged the submarine, but not like just bad enough that it couldn't like resubmerge. So the German commander was turning the submarine around so he could like launch torpedoes at the American destroyer, because their U-boats could turn faster than destroyers. So
Yeah.
the American captain on the destroyer was like, not happening, and pulled one of my maneuvers of ram the dude, and pretty much said, ramming speed, go after this guy, and ram this guy. And because the submarine couldn't go under, and it was like a stormy night with a bunch of waves, the destroyer had actually went up over top the submarine and then landed on top the submarine.
Smooth.
And they could not get off because of the waves. So the Germans were jumping out of the submarine, turning the deck guns around to start laying it on the Americans. And the Americans, because they're on top of the submarine, could not aim their guns down low enough.
To actually attack.
Like, even the anti-aircraft guns couldn't even aim low enough to, hit this. So, pretty much, the captain just said, throw anything you can, and one guy grabbed his throwing knives and, like, just started throwing them at all the Germans pouring out of the submarine to the deck guns. And so, a kill was given with some throwing knives, a chair, and an end table, and glasses, and wine, and...
Just imagine going on to look up like historic battles and being like, all right, okay, so this battle was killed with a 8-inch gun, 6-inch. Oh, this one was killed with a torpedo. Those aren't rare around those times. Okay. What do we have here? Throwing knives, a chair, side table, glass. What the freak is happening? Okay, I think someone edited this wrong. Someone get the official record. Oh, that's actually what happened.
Well, just
okay. Well, there's a lot more questions now.
That's the equivalent of being in a Gmod game, like server, and then on the kill screen it says prop.
My prop.
That's just
it's like we recreated this historically accurate battle. No, you take it. You take a bunch of people in from the street. It's like, All right, recreated this historic battle of the seas against a German U-boat and an American destroyer. These reenactments are completely true. We'll be doing in a game of Gmod. Don't worry about that. And go. You just see a bunch of people throwing knives and chairs. And like, you're joking, right? You're pulling our leg. He's like pulls up the actual stats. What?
So if we ever play Gmod together, which I might see if Bub wants to do like a little bit of Gmod for New Year's.
Mhm.
But I got some anime characters as player models.
Oh boy.
And I also may or may not have replaced the Combine with Blue Archive.
That one I did not get the reference on.
So you know that chick that I sent. I think I sent you the photo earlier. The chick holding a puffer fish in her hand.
Oh yeah, the one with where Flashpoint was questioning why he was in a group chat, I believe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
she's from Blue Archive. I think Shiriko is her name.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. But yeah. I made that because I was like Flashpoint. I'm like, hey, if he ever wants to join, he's more than welcome to. Because Flashpoint's funny. I like the dude. You'll be having a normal conversation, and then he comes out of kind of like me. He comes out of left field with something random.
Yeah, that's him. That's definitely him.
He's like the guy sitting at the ballpark. You're having a game, and then one person in the stand throws a baseball and manages to hit the baseball mid-flight to the batter.
Just go.
Then the entire stadium rushes that watcher.
It's in here like, oh, look, hey, you're like sitting at the nosebleeds. Like, you think I can mess up this baseball game? Please don't. See this baseball? I'm gonna throw it. And it's gonna hit something. Please don't. No. It just throws it off. It's like, okay, it's gonna land on the field. It's not gonna be that bad. And oh, wait, did comes over the announcement. Oh my gosh, another baseball from the crowd has hit the home running ball, and it looks like they lose the series. Oh my goodness! It's like run. Looks like they're sitting. Looks like they're sitting in aisle Z and the nosebleed section.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. If Ree had him here, for whatever reason, when me and Flashpoint get together, it just like Flashpoint already devolves to madness. But when me and Flashpoint get together, it's like Team Rocket. Get ready for trouble. Make it double.
Oh boy,
I'll
tell him you said that.
He'll probably see it if he ever watches the podcast. But get ready for trouble, Flashpoint. Make it double. Stares into each other's eyes and then looks back at the screen.
Oh boy, the chaos duel has arrived. I'm just gonna be sitting in the corner like, yep. I'm just gonna watch this happen. I'm not responsible for anything that happens. Oh, do you know that you can kind of get food poisoning from coffee?
Yeah.
Because I didn't. Until I literally got it.
That's pretty much a normal conversation with him. I'm sure if he had access to this, he'd be playing around with it like me too.
Oh yeah, he finds some anime that I've never heard of, and then you or Bub have heard of, and then start playing around with it.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, no. This is your captain speaking.
We have just made it into O'Hare Airport. The wind is a nice and 72 degrees to the west. 104 miles per hour. We are going to attempt to make a landing. We are going to try to whiz up the tower with our flyby. And we are going to land on runway 12th Street. Downtown, tower told me that even though this street is 32 feet wide, it should be wide enough to accommodate our 48 feet of wingspan. Or maybe he said that our wingspan was wider. I don't know. I wasn't exactly paying attention to him looking at my Pokemon cards. But welcome to O'Hare Airport and have a nice flight.
Just hear a bunch of yelling in the background.
To see that pilot one is perfect for that.
Yeah, because it literally do sound like you're heading into an actual airport. It's like,
Passengers, I've decided to take this one in a new way. I am going to be watching you while I am landing the plane. The wind is 104 miles straight up, and I have been told the temperature on ground is 12,000 degrees Kelvin. We have been told that is normal for the surface of the sun.
the surface of Ohio?
Don't ask me how we got up here. We made it here. And have a nice flight. This is your captain speaking.
Made a safe landing onto the sun.
A safe landing onto the sun. When I was in I landed a paperclip on the sun.
See, well, and we're still staying on the pilot topic. Like, if you ever like watch like fighter pilots land, like this is the only thing like I don't like about the movie that Hot Shot I was telling you we gotta watch.
Mm-hmm.
It is hilarious. Like you might like it because it's basically a spoof of Top Gun. But the only thing I don't like is like they're showing them landing and like you can tell the difference between Navy pilots and Air Force pilots because like Air Force pilots kiss the ground like they're kissing their wife, and Navy pilots kiss the ground like they're kissing their sister.
Yeah, because they only got like 30 feet of deck to land on.
So
they're
like,
out here. They're out here trying to land on a piece of floating plywood in the ocean. Like, oi! All right, good luck. If you miss this, by the way, you're going to Davy Jones.
so it's like you see Air Force pilot comes in for a landing, and it's like it's so majestic like an eagle, and then Navy pilot comes in, piloting a blimp. But like I've seen that like they slam that plane down onto the runway, man.
Yeah, I mean they kind of have to, unfortunately. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get used to it. Like I also like how like all these videos pop up of like people are like, "Can I land a 747 on an aircraft carrier?" Not even assuming that wouldn't jeopardize the stability or buoyancy of that ship. Let's just assume you could do it.
I mean, if you removed like most of the ordnance and stuff on there, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to do it. It's just you probably wouldn't be able to fit in the whole plane on the carrier at that point.
Tower, this is Yankee Doodle 2454 speaking. We overshot shot the carrier runway and are currently traveling to the center of the Earth at 12,000 miles per hour. Don't know how many knots that is. Requesting a bolo.
I don't know pilot terminology, so I just said some word I do know.
You can just kind of fill in the blanks there.
Be on, well, bolo I think is like a cop term for like be on the lookout.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're looking for a suspect, you'd put out a bolo for like white male on a scooter. He's getting away on a scooter in a high-speed chase. Catch him! Catch him!
That's crazy.
You'll never
And
catch
just like
me
running
alive,
away on
coppers.
like a scooter or a longboard, just trying to get away. It's like, yep. So this guy in a Dodge Hellcat couldn't get away from us. Great. So what about the guy who did get away? Did he have like a Lamborghini or something? He had a scooter. Was it
LA
electric? No, it was a Razor one.
LA police had a, well, not high-speed chase, but a police chase with a guy on a lawnmower. Like, and not even like a, so like, there's a brand in lawnmowers called Dixie Chopper, which I don't think they're around anymore, but pretty much they're the fastest lawnmower on earth. Like, they put like 90% of the power going to the wheels and like 10% going to the blades. So like they cut like crap, but they're fast. This guy wasn't even on that. This guy was on a John Deere riding mower and was running from the police, and the police are like, they're going so slow that they're riding their brakes, because if they let off their brakes, they'll overshoot this guy on the lawnmower.
Yeah, I think I saw a video of that.
And it's like, put your hands up, put your hands up. I never put my hands up. Engage its blades. Get me now, coppers.
When you're in GTA or Need for Speed and you're just sitting there like, oh, yep, how did I get here? I went from heisting banks and going over 200 miles per hour in $1 million car to, well, sitting here at 4 a.m. on a lawnmower going nearly 2 miles per hour, running from at least 35 police cars and at least 2 helicopters in the middle of LA. Lovely.
And I'm almost scared to play one of the... Oh.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
That must have been what was going through that guy's head. Yep, that's me. Oh, man, I just... It's actually, I think this is a good episode so far.
Yeah, it'd be bopping.
Like, we're... At this point, just so you know, I'm officially calling you my co-host.
Yay, I have been upgraded.
Because, I mean, you're pretty much in every episode. So, you're pretty much the co-host.
Yeah. I have been upgraded. Woo!
Yeah, welcome to
I have been promoted on stream.
Well, yeah, welcome to the Inexperienced Experts, episode 5.5. I am your host, Alpha, joined by my personally promoted by me on the spot, like it means anything, co-host FG.
Time to go get drunk in Minecraft.
Time to go drive a car off the bridge in Minecraft.
Minecraft. Time to go blow up the White House in Minecraft.
Oh man, you know what? In my ADHD brain, something just randomly popped in my head. Remember when like the whole like Raid Area 51 memes were going around?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was an actual thing that people were doing.
Yeah, well, I think like I don't think a lot of people showed up to it, but yeah, it was like a whole meme and that was funny.
People weren't going. Well, the U.S. government's got automated defenses, and the thing is I, people in my family have worked up there, and they pretty much told me the technology the government has is a good 60 years ahead of the technology we got. So that just kind of tells you how advanced the weapon systems they have are. Especially when you consider the weapons they're telling you about are the ones that, aren't as impressive.
Oh yeah, because we look back 60 years ago, some of that stuff is just becoming declassified.
Oh, well,
So that means that now it's can you imagine?
Oh, someone's I knew, their uncle worked for the army back in the 80s. And he was pretty much saying that they had, how we got, virtual reality now. He was pretty much saying that they had virtual reality on the specs of what, we got now for the army back in the 80s.
Wow.
And then, cell phones in the 60s, Because, you think about, GPS originally started out as a military asset and then eventually made its way to the public sector. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the kind of the same with internet. Because, originally that was only created for the army or the military, and then that kind of slowly developed into a consumer good.
Are you secretly a secret agent? I'm hearing beep me noises in the
Don't
background.
worry about that. That was just average beeping noise sound that's found in everyone's normal life,
FG's secretly just making a frozen TV dinner.
No, it was my watch. It beeps every hour.
Well, so I decided to try one of those Chef Ramsay frozen TV dinners the other day. It was actually really good.
That's chill.
Let's see so I went down to Walmart and I seen them and I was like, I used to get Stouffer's lasagnas all the time because I'm Garfield. Just a white cat instead of orange. But yeah. So I got them and it was the shepherd's pie, and I was not expecting a whole lot from this because I'm I don't even know if this is going to be good because TV dinners sometimes it's something you really like and it just does not taste good when it's cooked in the microwave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It actually was really good, and my only complaint was there wasn't enough. I was like, this is delicious.
And so it's sometimes those things just hit those the microwave dinners or microwave meals hit different. I remember I used to get the lasagna ones. I think they're from Stouffer's, and those were so good for some reason, but they were small.
Yeah, Stouffer's is really good. And so one of my coworkers, his mom used to work for Stouffer's, and he was telling me, and their factories, you know how they got the factory outlet store where you can buy Stouffer's straight from the factory.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a secret store just for employees where the employees can buy special items they made for themselves where they can be I want a lasagna loaded with meat. And I was like, man, that is actually interesting. I want a lasagna and let me make it meat. Just a meat
just
slab.
all meat. It's just one layer of noodles and then just all meat under it.
One meat cylinder, please.
1,000 meat cylinders.
I want 10,000 kilograms of your finest meat, please, sir. Yeah, it is. Yeah, hand over the meat and no one gets whacked with a banana. Banana.
Banana.
Banana. Capture the D point. Banana. Never. Apple. Why am I talking in this voice? I do not know.
Dang, dude's doing live voice changing without the voice changer.
Oh yeah, I'm doing all kinds of live voice changes. Like sometimes you'll be just talking and it just changes.
Oh no, he's a can of spaghetti.
A
I'm
lot
joking.
of meatball in Italy.
In Italy.
In Italy. Big giant meatball rolling down the street. The spider runs up the spout and gets knocked out.
Wow.
That was such an original song, Al. Sorry, the midnight zoomies with caffeine are kicking in. I ran out of energy drinks today.
And then you just got some new energy drinks, I take it.
Actually, open up a can of Sam's Cola.
What?
So Walmart has got like off-brand sodas you can buy. Like they got like Sam's Cola. It's like off-brand Coca-Cola. Tastes just like Coca-Cola. They got off-brand Dr. Pepper, Dr. Thunder. Tastes just like Dr. Pepper. Mountain Lightning, Mountain Dew. Root beer literally tastes like A&W root beer.
They're secretly just putting it in a cheaper container and selling it secondhand.
Sure, like when you think about it, a 24-pack of Sam's Cola costs like 8 something, and then like a 12-pack of like Coke costs like 8 something. I'm sorry, I'm buying the off-brand that tastes just as good.
It's fair.
And to me, like stuff like ketchup, I always buy whatever the store brand is, because ketchup tastes the same no matter who makes it.
Oh yeah. I always just buy the giant Heinz bottle, and I don't run out for like 6 to 7 months. And when I do, I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh yeah, Heinz ketchup is like the only ketchup I'll buy that's like not store brand, because like and Heinz like one of them things like you can run to like one store and it's like cheaper than the store brand, and then you run to like another store and it's like 5 times as much as the store brand. But Heinz tastes delicious, man. Oh man, that A1 sauce. I like A1 sauce with my steak.
Yeah, A1 sauce do be. Oh, I kind of like KC Masterpiece a little bit better than A1.
Never had
A1 kind of works, but it's like I don't know. I guess I just used a lot more KC when I was eating steak.
Never had it. I'll have to try it if I can find it. Eventually I'll probably find it, but
it's one of those weird barbecue sauces where it's not like super popular, but at the same time it's like it'll randomly show up on the shelves and sit there, and you'll be like, oh, cool. But if you can't find it, then you're like, where'd it go?
All right, yeah, Walmart do be like that sometimes. They'll like pop random items that pop on for like 2 weeks and then they're gone for like 4 months and then they pop back. Yeah, no, like I like that. Like to me, like I'll have my steak like rare. Like I like rare steak. I like well done steaks. Like I'm all over the place when it comes to it. Just depends on what mood I'm in that day. But even with like rare steak, I'll be like, drown the dude. I'm like, how much A1 sauce do you want? Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
I am drinking that stuff off the plate. Like that and hot sauce, man. I can't get enough hot sauce either. I like spicy foods. Like Southwestern foods or everyone. Well, I like Southwestern foods. See, my problem is FG is like when you really like spicy stuff, you hear about a spicy burger coming out, and they're making spicy burgers not for people like me that like love spicy stuff. They're making them for like the masses that say they like spicy stuff but really don't like spicy stuff. They just want to pretend they like spicy stuff. Like we're
Yeah.
talking like mild chili pepper is putting off a 5-alarm fire in their mouth, people.
Yeesh.
And because of that, whenever I go to a restaurant and they advertise, spicy pepper, because it's made for that person, they always like overhype it. So like they're super hyped thinking it's going to be super spicy when they eat it. And then when they eat it, it's not, it's not spicy, but to them it's spicy. And then someone like me who like loves spicy foods comes along and eats it, and you're sad. You're haunted by sadness because it ain't good at all. Just
Yeah.
yeah, it's like everywhere I've been at. Like, oh, and don't get me wrong, it's not like the burger ain't good. Like, I will love the burger, and it'll be like a good burger, but I'll be just disappointed because I was looking forward to a spicy burger. Yeah. It's like spicy. Like, you'll have a hard time. Like, I'm the person that's eating jalapenos, just like straight jalapenos. And like them.
Yeah, and then kind of enjoying the spiciness as it comes.
Well, my favorite part has to be this the one guy at work, he's in the ever department than me, but he redid a cookout, so like we're all the departments are together. He brings in this bottle of stuff you can get at Walmart, but it's like Venomous Viper or whatever it's called, hot sauce.
Yeah.
I think it's like 2 million on the scone level. But he brings this in, and I'm being careful because I'm like, hey, I don't know how hot this is. Like, it's like, I didn't know what level it was yet, but I'm like, let me be careful. It's like Carolina Reaper, but I'm like, let me be careful. I will pour just a little bit. So, like, I put a dot about, like, half the size of a penny. This is me being careful, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He looks me in the eyes and then looks at all the other guys around him that like now got this like shy look on their face and like, you need to be a man like Al here, like you guys, you're trying to get as little of it like he's actually a man, and I'm like, this ain't even me being manly. This is me just being careful. Like what? Like how cautious were these guys being?
Just puts like a little drop on the plate. Okay, you know what? I might be called a little shy for this, but gets walked up. You're a man for doing that. What? You know that stuff has the power to nearly tear your taste buds off with just even a millimeter of it. What?
And this is the sad part when I get something that's like, so if I eat like just like a normal burger and I had no spicy burger before that, I will eat it and be like happy. But if I get some hot sauce on one burger and then made another burger without hot sauce, the burger without hot sauce, if I eat it last, is not as good as the hot sauce burger because I ate something with hot sauce. So it's like one of those. It's like I love hot sauce, but if I eat it, everything's got to have hot sauce. Like I literally, if you ever see me eat pizza, I will dump slaver a slice of pizza with Frank's Red Hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm putting that stuff on like tomato sauce.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I also used to eat pizza with ranch and mustard too, so I am kind of weird.
Ranch and mustard, that's a new one.
I went to a bowling alley once and got a slice of like pepperoni pizza. And for whatever reason, this is like, I'm 5 years old at the time, but for whatever reason, in my kid mind, I'm like, ooh, mustard tastes good on hot dogs. Let me put it on pizza. Ooh, ranch tastes good on salad. Let me put it on pizza. And actually, it was pretty good. I liked it.
It's fair. I guess you never know unless you try.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do it again, because I might, probably wouldn't like it now, because like I said, that was like, good 13 years ago. No, not 13. 18. Holy crap. Time flies, man. But yeah. Oh man. I'm getting old.
We all are.
My knee's falling apart. My pain in my knee, I think I've mentioned it before, is It's getting to the point that it's almost nonstop now.
Have you thought about getting it checked out?
That's what I'm probably going to. But the problem is, it's so like it's hurt my entire life. This knee, it's my right knee, and I
Yeah.
mean it was always the same level of pain. Like it's not gotten more painful. It's just gotten more frequent, and it's like we're talking when I was like really young. I could be running around playing with like Lego figures, and then just in the middle of playing, I'd be like rolling around on the ground screaming in pain.
Oh.
Because of how bad it was, and my parents took me to the doctors multiple times, and they've done CAT scans and all kinds of that stuff, and they could never find nothing wrong. According to them, my knee is perfectly fine, and I shouldn't be in pain. So, it's like, maybe technology's gotten better, and they'll find something now. So, I might go get it checked out. I haven't been to a doctor in 5 years, so I don't even know how I'd go to the doctor outside the ER.
Yeah, you probably just call up your local, or you look up like local physicians, probably something like that, and then, or look up just how to get a a doctor checkup thing or whatever like that, and it'll probably direct you to like a hospital and be like, call this number. And then once you call it, even if it's like the wrong person, they'll be like, oh yeah, all you have to do is just go over to this number here. And you probably have a family physician too that you could go to.
Yeah, maybe I'll.
You could probably just like ask your parents because they probably still have that info locked down. So you could be like, hey, yo, what's our family physician's number? I want to get checked up on this knee here. And like, oh yeah, here you can call this here. They'll give you a business card and you'll give that call number, and then they'll be like, all right, we set up an appointment with you on fill in the date here, da da da. And then they'll ask you for insurance and stuff like that once you get there.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, it's like the pain's like it's not like a sharp pain, or it's like a dull pain. Like if someone took and like just jammed something in my knee and like left it there, and just who knows, it could be anything at this point. Because like I've had a couple different surgeries when I was younger. One of my lungs collapsed. I had to go in for emergency surgery for that. And by young, I mean like 3 years old. So,
yeah.
So who knows? It could literally be anything. You never know if someone accidentally forgot their scalpel in me.
Let's hope not.
Oh, man. Like, it'd be funny, and not funny and like, oh, hey, it's funny someone forgot the scalpel. Just more, that's the only thing I could do to not, like, freak out is laugh. I'm that person, when something happens that freaks me out, I either faint or just start laughing my head off like a maniac. So, oh man. So, at least working where I work at, I do make good jokes that doctors like, so.
That's good.
What was it I told the one doctor? So I took my dad to the doctor once, and this doctor walks in, and what the heck did I say? I can't remember what I said. I said, hey, don't make any mistakes tonight. We're getting tired of hiding your mistakes. And the doctor said, yeah, and it's too much paperwork too. Like without skipping a beat. Like,
Yeah, Duo was prepared for it.
Well, see, that's the nice thing about working in deaf care is, like, again, the industry, you kind of have to have a dark sense of humor if you don't want to lose your crap. Cause
Oh yeah.
Just, it's one of those things. It's the, way your industry is. It's just like with doctors. You still deal with deaf. It's you got to have a way to deal with it, or else you're going to go mad. But
yeah.
I think the second joke I told, what the heck was the second joke? It'll come to me later. But like I told him like a second joke, and he looks me in the eyes and says, "I'm going to have to tell that to the county coroner." So I'm sure there's some county coroner out there who probably watches this video, you know, if they do watch it, knows exactly where the joke came from. Oh man, it'll come to me later.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, no. Oh, I know what it was. I'll probably get canceled for this. I told him,
Oh boy.
hey, I told my boss I should be a supervisor because I got plenty of people under me.
Jeez. Jeez.
And he laughed. He laughed at that. This doctor laughed at that and said, "I'm gonna have to tell the county coroner."
I guess it's still one of those kind of funny ones.
I mean, it's one of those that 99% of people at least get a chuckle out of it, unless like, and I understand if they lost someone, because like, you know, I didn't always work at the cemetery I worked at. Now, you know, as a mechanic, I work doing like actually like field work and stuff at another one, and people, not a whole lot, like it very rarely happens, but you have to get training on how to deal with someone if they come up to you full of grief and just need someone to hug. Like, you have to get that, because it has happened. You know, sometimes you lose a loved one, it doesn't matter who it is, it's like whoever's in sight, that's who you're hugging.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, they don't care who it is, they just need someone to help. And I can understand, because when, you know, as you know, when that happened with my brother, I kind of deal with trauma and grief in every ways than most people.
Yeah, but so everyone has their own way of grieving.
Yeah, most people might talk about it, and like, my sister was like, "Hey, you want a teddy bear made of his clothes, or you want a necklace with his ashes?" And I'm like, no. Like, I don't want to remember what is, I want to remember what was. Like, I'll talk about him, like, stories and stuff. I just don't like talking about, you know, him being dead and stuff like that. I'm going to be honest with you, it's still hard to believe.
Yeah.
Sorry for bringing the mood down.
It's alright.
But yeah, no. So what are you doing for, well, actually, I probably shouldn't ask that on stream.
Am I doing for what?
I was going to say, what are you doing for New Year's? As long as it ain't sensitive that it can't be said on stream.
Oh yeah, no. I don't know what I'm doing for New Year's yet. I'm still working on trying to get home for Christmas. I decided to reschedule my big exam for the 19th, so that's gonna be fun.
Hey.
And so, more than likely, since they're only willing to give me Christmas off, like just the day of, I would have to come in on the 24th and then leave halfway to like the 25th or something like that. And that's in like worst case of scenario or mid case. I mean, best case is, you know, I get done on the 19th and then they're generous enough to be like, yeah, you can go home. I'd be like, that's cool. But you know, that's best case. And then if it comes down to really bad, then yeah, just come in late on the 24th and then leave late on the 25th and then be ready to go back to classes on the 26th.
This is your captain speaking. Speedy FG delivery service. FG, we're opening up the door at 30,000 feet. Jump out. Hopefully you got your parachute.
Yeah, but...
Don't worry about cabin depressurization. We'll contact the FAA later with a number for you to call.
Okay.
Turn right, heading 320. I am turning, heading 220. And that's an actual pilot recording between pilot and ATC out there in New York.
Yeah, I can believe that. I've done something similar like that. Because every time not every time, but a few times getting vectored onto approach into Phoenix or near Phoenix. What's gonna call it? My instructor would say something like, "All right, go to a heading of 030 or something like that," and I would go heading of 300, and I'm like, oh. Fortunately, like caught it most of the time, so I didn't end up doing anything wrong, but it was still like, yeesh.
Well, this guy was an experienced pilot. Not flying a big plane, like flying I think he was like in a small Cessna, but he wanted to land on this one runway because it was like closer to the hangar or whatever he needed to get to, so it'd be like easier taxing. And he, for whatever reason, kept trying to force ATC into giving him this like runway. And finally, they got him to go to the other runway because they had a super heavy coming in that had already like called in way ahead of time of like, hey, we're coming in and we need that runway, no matter what. So, it was already like they were like, hey, either you wait 14 minutes or this ever runway, and he wasn't going to wait 14 minutes. And then finally, they got him to this ever runway, and then. I love it. The ATC says, get off taxiway Echo, like hold short. So like get off and stop, And he gets off, turns on the taxiway Echo, and then like continues moving, and ATC is screaming at him to stop. And he's like all of a sudden going, brakes aren't working. Well, there's this Ever pilot in a private jet on the same exact taxiway, and he decides, hey, I ain't getting involved in this mess, and just like stops and sits, and like ATC like yells at this Ever pilot like stop. We got a pilot not stopping, and this pilot continues, and then at some point he somehow figures out how to use the brake, like
Lovely.
way after crossing a active runway and almost hitting this Ever plane on the ground.
Naturally.
And then I love it. They're telling him, like, he's still like talking to like the air ATC, and they keep trying to tell him to switch to ground, like when he lands. And like the only time that they stopped worrying about switching the ground was when he continued, where they all started screaming at there was like 3 different air traffic controllers screaming at this guy to stop.
Yeah.
And then he finally switches over to ground, and the guy's like, so, do you want the number now or later? Because I got some words for you.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm sure that was the guy's biggest stressing down of his pilot career. Twice.
Yeah, but to say, sometimes you just gotta stay humble, and at that point you just hope the FAA doesn't frickin' roast your rear end into the shower room by that point.
I don't know what happened. All I know is just like, actually he did almost hit another passenger jet while in the air, but like they kept yelling at this Ever passenger jet of like, hey, you guys see him? And they're like, no, oh, there he is, right underneath us. It's fun. I'm not a pilot, but I'm sure it's fun when you get close enough to another plane to cause the anti-collision system to kick on.
The fun part is sometimes you don't even have that. So when you look out the plane and just see the tail number of it and almost all details, including all the scrapes and bumps up close while you're on the mid approach, then you're like, yeah, this is what the crap. And then your instructor starts cursing at them, and then you have to turn off the approach. Yeah, that's what happened.
That's like me with the truck and trailer, and someone's like right behind you, close enough that you can make every detail and scar on their face. And I mean, like, I can't even see their headlights, and they're in a big old like SUV. They're so close to the trailer.
Jeez.
Or like, I've driven a box truck before, and the box truck is like within 150, like 200 feet behind me. If you're that close, I cannot see you at all. You are invisible.
Oh yeah, so if you slam on the brakes for whatever reason, they might see what's in your cargo hold.
Yeah, like they're, and the funny thing is it's also like a lifted up bed, so like the box truck, luckily we got a lift gate, so we don't need one of them hang down things because it kind of acts as the part. But the box truck, the bed or the floor of the box truck sits up higher than like the hood of most cars out there and SUVs. So if that lift gate wasn't there and they rammed into the rear, the box will be chopping off their, top of their car, giving it a haircut.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, I've told people, and I'll tell people continuously, like, do not tailgate box trucks. Because, like, the thing is, I go to speed limit. When I'm driving a box truck or a truck, I'm going to speed limit because less time I have to stop. The thing is half these people driving, they have never driven anything bigger than their own car, and they don't realize that when you got, like 1,000 pounds of steel, 5,000 pounds of steel, you don't stop like a 2,000 pound sedan. You stop like a, 7,000 pound, like 3.5 ton truck with 2.5 tons of steel. Not a 1 ton car. Like,
no, it takes longer to stop.
And it's like, because, and it's like, and the other thing people don't understand is, it does not take long to slow down. It takes long to come to a complete stop. I can slow down from 60 to 20 miles per hour pretty quickly. It's that going from 20 to nothing takes a while.
Yeah.
If you're loaded. And it's like, hey, and then, like, because I'm heavier, when I hit my brakes, I'm not lightly tapping them. I'm hitting my brakes. So, and if something happens, I have to panic stop. I'm hitting them even harder. And if you're, and the thing is, FG, these people that tailgate you, they don't even, like, stay back 200 feet. I mean, they will literally be so close that when they come out from behind me to pass, the front of their car is already passing the back of the box truck by the time they're, in the other lane. Like, that close.
Yeah.
Probably not even a foot away from the back. And it's, some people even do it because it gets you better fuel mileage, because then you have no drag on your car, and it's like, cool. Let's die for an extra, couple miles a gallon.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, but I feel very strongly on this topic.
Yeah, I get that. It's just kind of like, I mean, obviously, if you're going to do it, just be extremely careful. Try to give the truck as much room as you possibly can, and respect the fact that this giant vehicle cannot stop on a dime.
It's like, the thing people need to respect is he's a lot bigger and a lot heavier than you. You are not winning that battle. Like, I don't even drive like a big truck. I'm driving a 1 ton. Big trucks. You have cargo that can weigh anywhere from 80 tons to like 120 tons. Or not 80 tons, like 120 tons that are like normal, normal cargo to like normal, like not oversized, but like heavy load. And then you got oversized loads. Like, I mean, we're talking about where you got 2 trucks side by side hauling a big, huge Caterpillar dump truck.
Yeah.
Which they don't do as much anymore. But point is, those guys are taking a lot longer to stop. And if you're that guy with the Caterpillar dump truck, you're 2 trucks driving, your one driver serves to the right because a car got in front of him, slamming in his brakes. Guess where that dump truck's going? Not with that truck. It's going straight into the car in front of him, and I'm sorry, but I'm talking about something that's got wheels twice as tall as you standing up. Just, like, don't be an idiot.
Yeah, no.
Better. And it's like, and then, like, the other side of things is, like, people get in front of you, and then, like basically, like, they'll pass you, and you probably deal with this, but they'll pretty much pass you like going like 20 above the speed limit, and then as soon as they get in front of you, they want to do 10 below the speed limit, not because you're going slow, just because they want to be in front of you.
Yeah, so you're just gonna feel like you did all that work just so you can sit in front of me at an even slower pace.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm sorry, but you know, you got one car length in front of me. You're beating me by like a millisecond.
Yeah, no, it's not worth it.
I'm like, really, you shouldn't even go above 10 over the speed limit. I just, on a highway, I wouldn't. Like, whatever you do is like, whatever your decision. I'm just like, if you're on a highway and everyone, like, so being a trucker, you kind of learn, like, to read the road. If you're ever on a road somewhere and, like, everyone is doing exactly the speed limit, you do the speed limit. If people are speeding, speed a bit. Just don't go faster than the majority of cars. You know, you kind of learn where you can take chances and where you can't, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. And listen, I'm gonna have to go here and set up play with some other friends a little bit later on.
All right, yeah, maybe I'll be on later on. I was about the end of the stream anyways, or we've reached 2 hours.
All right. Yeah, I just didn't want to cut you off there in the middle of the.
No, you're good. Well, viewers, if anyone's still watching, or whenever you guys watch it on the video format, this has been Inexperienced Experts, episode 5. Inexperienced going wild. FG.
RAR XDOO. Oh gosh.
Give me a second.
You will. All right.